providing trusted data around the world. Many big companies have large SharePoint environments with multiple farms that require specific tools to replicate across the globe. The replication of data is managed by these tools, but how beneficial is a replicated database that has not been crawled in a week, and for which you find 40% of unsuccessful crawl elements? Replicated data must be trusted and indexed, otherwise the only thing that you replicate is errors. Providing accurate and trusted data is not only a question of crawling, it is a question of information attached to a document. One example: can you be sure that the project manager will find the right version of an important document if versioning isn't functioning the way it should be? Multiple web services are involved in the selection and the accurate display of these documents. That is why GSX constantly checks the indexer, alerts you on the last crawl, on the percentage of unsuccessful elements, but also checks the performance and the availability of the web services involved with the selection and display of these documents. How can GSX Solutions cure this headache? GSX constantly checks the indexer, alerting you on thresholds for last crawl and on the percentage of unsuccessful elements. It also checks the performance and availability of the web services involved in the selection and display of these documents. Alright, let's take a look in GSX Monitor. We can start with the indexer. In the Server Settings tab, we can go over to Indexer Alerts. We can see two different alerts with thresholds that we can set according to your needs. The elapsed time threshold since last crawl. As it's named, it alerts you if the last crawl hasn't taken place in a specified time. This way you can be sure that your crawl is functioning on a regular basis. If not, there could be an issue between the indexer and the SQL Server. If the database is not crawled regularly, the results of searches will be outdated. The other alert we have here is for the percentage of unsuccessful crawl elements. As you know, a high percentage of unsuccessful crawl elements can be the result of corrupted documents or damaged data in the SQL database. The crawling index could also time out for several reasons. GSX Monitor will alert you on the issues, and given the threshold, you will be able to start taking action on the problem before it impacts your users. We have seen how GSX Monitor is checking the web services in our first video. GSX is not only checking the basic status of the service, but in real time checking the service response time from a user perspective. Several web services are involved in the dependability of the data delivered by your SharePoint environment to the users. Let's look at the web services setting. To ensure data integrity, you should check first site data, because if it's down, search will only search the site name and content, not the metadata. The user then will experience some difficulty finding the sites and information they need to work on. WB Alert. Without this function, an administrator cannot guarantee the integrity of SharePoint documents. Administrators and users lose the ability to view and control SharePoint libraries. Versions. If this web service is down, a user cannot access a previous version of a document. Imagine the consequences if a document modification removed important information. Finally, the last thing to check is the search service itself. If we go to the Scenario tab, click on SharePoint Scenario, click on the Search Service Test, and GSX will act as a user, search for a specific keyword, and check results. As you can imagine, if the service is down, no one will be able to find anything within the SharePoint environment. As already shown in our first video, GSX will use these web services, giving you in real time actual user performance. As we just saw, GSX offers you multiple ways to be sure that the data provided by SharePoint and your SQL environment is the accurate data your users are looking for. To sum up briefly what we just viewed, GSX, which is agentless and acting as a user, will allow you to track the indexer activity and alert you in case of any problems with the crawling element. Constantly check the critical web services involved in the delivery of accurate data to your users, and alert you in the case of any issues with the search service. Thank you for your time. The next headache we'll focus on will be enhancing your environment. You can now download the SharePoint Headache ebook with the link below, and/or download the free trial of GSX Monitor. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. You can reach us at sales@gsx.com. Thank you.